Hello fragrance friends and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you are joining me. My name is Hayley and I review fragrances. So in today's video I am going to be sharing with you some romantic fragrances. These are fragrances that almost pull me into a fairy tale type of vibe. They just give off romance, they give off whimsy, they're angelic, at least in my opinion anyway. So without further ado, let's jump into the first fragrance. The first one was so incredibly obvious to me, and I'm sure you maybe will be expecting this one given the title. Dama Bianca by Xerjoff from the Casamarati line. This is one of the most angelic, whimsical fragrances that I have ever personally tried. This just reminds me of the fantasy books that I read, especially within the Regency era. It reminds me of big dresses, ball gowns specifically, walks through a beautiful garden. That is the vibe I get from this. Dama Bianca is the most gorgeous, soft, powdery vanilla. It's a mixture of purple florals and vanilla, but it also has, I think it's a quince note. There's something quite sharp in the opening, and it is incredibly special. I absolutely love Dama Bianca. I did consider this one as my wedding day scent. I didn't go with it in the end, but part of me regrets it a little bit because it is a really special fragrance. It's vanilla like nothing else that you've smelt before. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be for everyone because the notes can be a little bit challenging. They're a little bit different, but the combination combined, oh, wow, the combination combined, that was not very good English, Hayley. It is a special, angelic, whimsical fragrance. And yeah, let me know what you think about Dama Bianca. I am so curious to hear your thoughts about it. Now, another fragrance that is a little bit different, although it would seem similar on paper, is Angelique Noire by Guerlain. Now, this is another vanilla fragrance, but it is done very differently from Dama Bianca. This is a green vanilla, a natural smelling green vanilla. And again, it's not going to be for everyone because the Angelica note can be challenging for some people. It pulls a little bit green and almost herbal, but to me, that is the most beautiful thing about it. Again, it would make the most perfect bridal scent. It is so chic, timeless, and classy. One of the best vanilla fragrances of all time, in my opinion. It smells natural. It is not overly sweet, and it is special. Very, very special indeed. The next one, I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction, is Mallow by Dora. Now this has the powdery purple florals of Dama Bianca, but this is a lot more intense. This has a marshmallow vibe. It is sugary. There's even more florals throughout here. So you've got some kind of like orange blossom and neroli mixed in with that marshmallow, the powdered sugar, and then the purple florals. Wow. It really does stand out in a crowd. It is strong though. It is very, very strong. But yeah, I get basically, imagine violet flavored, big, fluffy, powdered marshmallows. Spectacular, but you have to enjoy your powdery purple florals to enjoy this because it is what's most prominent. You do have a little bit of raspberry too, but yeah, marshmallow, violet, a little bit of orange blossom. A special fragrance indeed. I would recommend sampling first if you've not tried this one yet. Now, one that did get a little bit of hate when it launched. Some people love it, some people don't, and that's fair enough. That is Amouage Love Delight. And I can see why some people didn't enjoy it because it's very different from some of the other Amouage releases. It's almost what would be classified as safe in terms of Amouage fragrances. Now, to me, this is a very almond heavy fragrance. There's no almond listed, but the heliotrope pulls like almond to me. And then there's light florals, and it's a little bit sweet, but not too sweet. Yeah, this is powdery, this is floral. It could be a little bit more vintage smelling in a way. It's kind of a juxtaposition between smelling vintage, but also smelling modern. Now the almond note on my skin pulls so beautiful. It's not an almond note, it's heliotrope, but it smells like the most gorgeous almond floral on my skin. And it's another fragrance that reminds me of wearing a ball gown or some kind of old fashioned kind of Regency era dress. I'm walking through the most luscious gardens, and you know, back in the Regency era, on hot days, they had the like umbrellas, and it's just like a lady walking along in her beautiful floral dress with an umbrella. I don't know why that's what I get from this. Think Bridgerton. That is the vibe it gives to me. Now, yes, it's an expensive fragrance. I totally get that. I would recommend trying to find a deal on it if you can. But it's worth sampling if you love your beautiful floral fragrances. Now, next up, I'm going to go with my wedding day scent. Now, this is a newer bottle. I used to have a 50 ml before this one. Now, this is Fleur Narcotique by Nihilo, and this was my formal wedding day scent. Now, I had a registry office wedding and I had a big wedding, and this is what I wore on the big wedding. And it was like a garden vibe. So this to me smells very pretty. It's quite whimsical too. It's a mixture of the most beautiful pink florals, mostly peony is what I'm getting. It's very sweet too, but it's got this kind of peppery, musky vibe about it. Now, some people say they get really poor longevity from this. I really do not. So I think it is individual to each person. But this to me just gives me the most amazing memories. I love all of the kind of fragrances in this scent profile. I have a few different ones. There's Almond Jane Levant, and they smell pretty similar, to be fair. I think Parfum de Marly Valaya has a slight similarity to this too, not quite the same. But Fleur Narcotique will always be special to me. I love the sharpness of it. I love the peony mixed with the kind of pepperiness and the muskiness. And I just think this is it's a sexy, pretty floral. And yeah, I adore Fleur Narcotique. But do sample it on the skin. Some people say they get poor longevity from this one. And some people also ask me if I prefer this or the Extrait. I love both of them, but I will always love this one a little bit more than the Extrait. Next up is Alexandre J Butterfly. Now, I was toying between adding this into the video and Blanche Bête by Liquids Imaginaire. And I've gone with Butterfly because this one's a little bit softer than Blanche Bête and a little bit more whimsy. Again, it's giving me Regency era vibes. It's giving me Enchanted Castle, maybe a princess, I don't know, but I just think it's really special. This is a creamy, it's got vanilla in here. I wouldn't call it a creamy vanilla. It's more of a floral, but it's got this kind of otherworldly vibe about it. It's a milky white floral to my nose with vanilla. It's a little bit powdery too. It is in a similar realm to Blanche Bête, but just a little bit different too. And it is special. So if you're thinking, what does this smell like? The easiest way I can sum it up is a very milky white floral. So like white florals have been steeped in actual milk with a little bit of vanilla and some powderiness. That is what I get from Butterfly. And I think this is a very special fragrance. Again, it is a luxury fragrance. It comes with a high price point, but the packaging is so incredibly chic. And if you have the opportunity to sample this one, I would definitely recommend it. So those are all of the fragrances that I wanted to go over in today's video. I wanted to keep this more concise as always, but I would love to hear the fragrances that you feel are romantic, that you feel give off those whimsical vibes. Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear what fragrances you would pick. But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always. I hope to see you in a future video to come. Thank you so much and goodbye.